is good and we should know it, but it is the accepting of it with glad devotion that enables the Spirit of God. So, first, listen to the Word and study it. Know what it really means. Second, continue to meditate on it day and night. Next, don't forget what you've heard. And finally, put the truth into practice. All my life I've heard verses in the Bible about helping those in need, and this summer I got the opportunity to put it into practice. The youth group went to Kentucky Changers for a week at the Grant and Pendleton County Project. I was not expecting to love the mission trip, but I thought it would be good to help people, but it was a lot more than good. Each crew always makes something special for their homeowner so they can remember Kentucky Changers. And my group made her an amazing bench with ichthus carved out. And I will always remember her face when she got it and how thankful she was that we fixed her roof too. It means so much to me to know that by taking action on what we hear, we can all change lives. So thank you for letting me share with you this morning, but the youth group is going to share more on the mission trip.
As Marley said, this summer we went to Kentucky Changers. This is a group that's sponsored by the Kentucky Baptist Convention. They held about 3 or 4 for college-age, high school, and middle school students. 3 or 4 different week-long mission trips. So we went on this mission trip, and we had all kinds of great jobs you're going to hear a little bit about. It ended up being, it was early July, incredibly hot. They actually made us start work at 5 in the morning so that we could have our work day before the heat really set in. So these guys are going to tell you a little bit about it. Now, guys, most of you have never, if rarely, been on many type of mission trips before. So I'm wondering, what were you expecting going into this trip? Alex, what were you expecting?
I was expecting a lot of hard work.
And did you get that?
Yeah.
Yes, you did. We worked harder than we probably have ever worked before. Nicholas, what were you expecting?
I had no clue what to expect, actually.
Did you get that?
I don't know.
I don't know either. So we get there, and we're staying in a high school, and we're staying on a hard tile floor. We all brought air mattress and stuff. What was it like in the girls' room? Lori, go ahead. What was it like?
Well, like the first day, Marley's air mattress was down on the floor. There was no air in it. So I let her and Alex sleep on my air mattress because I brought a really big one. And, well, that one got a hole in it, so we all had to go to Walmart and get a patching kit, and we put like a whole row of duct tape over it because we didn't want to sleep on the ground.
So the last day there, you actually got to sleep on an air mattress.
Yeah, it was really comfortable.
Yeah, I bet. I'm sure. Josh, what was it like in the guys' room?
It was pretty fun. That was basically our goof-off area. We wrestled on Ethan's air mattress a lot.
Only on Ethan's air mattress?
Yeah.
Okay.
No one else was big enough. And we had some really interesting conversations like, did Bigfoot exist? We never actually figured that one out.
Don't tell the pastor we had that conversation. So this trip was kind of similar to our camp experience in that after we spent the day working, we would come back, we would have a worship service in the evening, we would have church group time, we would have those sort of things. And I was thinking, and you all might have been thinking the same thing, that before we left to go on this trip, that we would kind of suffer through the work. We would do the work so that we could experience the fun times in the evening. We could experience the more camp-like atmosphere later in the evening. So Haley, I was wondering, is that the way it really happened?
Well, besides that picture right there, that was usually the fun part, was actually working. You see we're working, I promise. The evening part was kind of, you were tired after that, so you actually we enjoyed the work and the fellowship and helping others. That was kind of the fun part that we look forward to, actually.
Marley, what did doing the work actually mean to you?
It meant a lot since I got to help a lady that didn't really have a lot of friends or family, and that we could go in there and help her. So, yeah.
Ethan, what did doing a week's worth of work do for you?
I found a new respect for trees, and without the large tree that we had at our work site, it would have been a lot more suffering.
So if there's no shade, there's a lot of suffering.
Yeah.
I see. Jared, your group, did it have any shade?
No.
Was anybody else here in your group?
You.
Yeah. It definitely was suffering. I won't doubt that a bit. So tell us a little bit about some of the work you did this week. Josh, what kind of work did you all do?
We were working in a city park, and we had to scrape and then prime and paint all the tables in the picnic shelter. Then we had to stain the picnic shelter, and we painted a whole lot of playground equipment, and then we got to do the most fun of part of all the work, which was the power washer. That's the fun part.
We love power washers.
Yes, we do.
And power tools. By the way, how many of you all use power tools this week? How many parents does that scare? Okay, just a couple. Okay, that's good. That's good. So you did a week's worth of work for somebody else, giving up your time for somebody else. Lori, what does that mean to you, to give up your week, your time to help somebody else out?
Well, I think it all pays out in the end, just like seeing all the little kids' face when we got done with the playground. It made it all worthwhile because you're out there working, and it just makes you more aware that people don't really have the same benefits or anything as you do. So it just kind of opens your eyes and makes you realize other people's lives.
Sure. And it wasn't just us that received the benefit, obviously. There were homeowners who we were working on their house. We were changing their lives by doing something simple as putting on a roof, building a ramp for their deck, or building a new deck. Ethan, what do you think it was like for the homeowners to have us come in and do that work?
Well, after we got done, the homeowner and his family came out and showed how thankful they were, and just seeing them that happy made us feel happy.
Sure. So this week you all spent the entire time working with people you didn't know, including from other churches, but also new homeowners and things like that. Nicholas, what were the relationships like that you built that week?
I thought it was very strong. The homeowner they had 2 kids, and Seth, a 5-year-old, and Sky, an 8-year-old girl, and they just really felt like almost a sibling, actually. I mean, we were really close. We had fun, and we goofed off a lot, and Seth was always on my back. Even when I was working, he was always on my back. If I went to the restroom, he was right there waiting at the door. I would walk out, jump on my back. So.
That was Darla Cogrove, by the way, getting called up on stage at the thing. How'd you feel about that, Jared?
Yeah.
He was very embarrassed by his mother being up on the platform. We thought it was great. It was wonderful. Yeah. Alex, this week you also worked with a lot of youth from other churches and things like that. And we all went away from this week having built great relationships with those people. Why do you think working with somebody out in the hot sun on a job, why do you think that causes people to grow so close together?
Because when we were working all day long from like the crack of dawn till 3 or 4 that afternoon, you saw them in heat, exhaustion, and anything you can imagine, we saw it. And you just get to see who someone really is through all their hard times whenever you work with them all day in the hot sun.
Hard to be fake when you're doing a hard job with somebody. Every night, as I mentioned, they had worship services that we would go and experience praise and worship and camp pastor that week. And Haley, you got to participate in one of those services. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, everybody had the opportunity to audition and sing a worship song, so I did, and it was a really rewarding experience because it was the first time I got to worship on stage, on, platform and all, and also to see the reaction of others worshiping too. So it was really, refreshing and awesome.
It was an incredibly worshipful experience as well. You did a great job. And worship wasn't the only time that we spent time in worship. Every day you had, on your work site, you had a devotion leader who would lead your group in a devotion. Jared was actually the devotion leader for our group. And one particular day, something pretty amazing happened. Tell us a little bit about that, Jared.
We were having a devotional, and somehow one of the kids got on the subject of how he had a lot of stuff done. He had done a lot of stuff he wasn't proud of, and it kind of led some other guys to come forth about stuff. And by the end of it, we had about 3 different guys that were crying in tears, and it really came forth, and God took hold of that situation. It was really cool to see people come forward like that and stuff.
So teenage boys were crying, huh?
Yep.
That can happen, apparently. Wow. Marley, you shared a devotion with your group, and that was interesting. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I didn't think it would be that bad since only like 10 people were going to be there, and it's just like a 3-minute devotional. So then the camp pastor and his wife and the music leader and his partner and the camp director all came to our work site, and I had to share my devotion with them, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. It was almost worse than this, so.
And I talked to them afterwards, and they all said that she did an amazing job, so they were thrilled with that. And Nicholas, you actually had a very interesting experience happen to you that week.
I was very scared. Tony, mine, and Ethan's crew chief leader said, "Nicholas, see that man over there?" And I said, "I do." He told me to go to the man, give him a Bible, introduce myself, and just pretty much give him the structure of the Bible and how he can accept Jesus into his life. So while walking to him, of course, Seth on my back, and I sit next to the man, and I introduce myself, and I tell him how excited it is to be here to help him out. And I give him the Bible, and I tell him about the Old Testaments and New Testaments, the Gospels, and how he can accept Jesus into his life, and just pretty much give him the foundation of it.
And how did he respond?
His eyes were very big. I mean, that's his response. He looked right at me, and he said, "Thank you very much." And for me, I think that made me really happy inside, made me feel good. And I'm guessing just from his look, his expression, thinking that coming from a younger person, not an adult, sharing something about Jesus.
Think you'd ever do that again?
I hope so, and I think I will.
Well, praise God. My favorite time of the evening was the very last thing we had each night was a church group time where we get to sit and talk about stuff. And we had basic discussions throughout the week. But towards the end of the week, the discussions started to get a little bit more interesting. Alex, tell us about that.
We basically talked about what we did all day at the beginning of the week. And by the end of the week, we realized how passionate we really were about serving and helping just people in the community, and how rewarding it was not only for us making a difference in someone's life, but it was also a reward for us to feel that, to experience making a difference in someone's life. And we decided that we didn't want to just, serve while we're there. We want to bring it back to Berea and make a difference here. And so, our first thought, well, let's change all of Berea and, help everyone. But that's kind of not really within our reach with our group. But we really want to make a difference somehow in Berea. And we need the congregation's help you can do anything. Whatever you can do is fine. We would love for you all to donate money, to give your time, your carpenter skills, or just lots of prayer. Whatever you can do.